Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Ahmed Abdel Fattah. Welcome again. And this is our third part in the end of year English exam. And this is the most important part, which covers the grammar that is required in the exam. As you may know, we have got a support document, which includes the important grammatical points that are going to be included in the exam. Here we are. Let's revise them very quickly before we go to practice some mazes that I have designed. The first grammatical point is about to. We are about to board the plane. So this is the use of verb to be, am or is or are, plus about to, plus the infinitive. So this is future time using be plus about to plus the infinitive. And we have some examples. They are about to go to school. So they will immediately go to school. They will go to school soon. She is about to start exercising. I am about to read a book. So this is an easy grammatical rule. Let's move on to the next one. Having finished school. This is called present participle or perfect participle. This is called perfect participle. Why perfect? Because we have past participle here. So it's perfect. So we start our sentence with having, then past participle. So having finished school means after she had finished school. What happened? Another action. She had a cup of tea. She drank a cup of tea. So we have two actions in the past. After she had finished school, what happened? She drank, or she had, the past of have or has. She had a cup of tea. In order to reduce the number of words, we use verb plus ing. So we start with having. We delete all this and we start with having. So having finished school, she had a cup of tea. So two actions in the past. One happened before the other. So it's like this. This is the timeline, and we have two actions. After having finished school, or after she had finished school, what happened? She had a cup of tea. She drank a cup of tea. So we have got two examples here to make it easier for us to understand. Again, having eaten, the past participle of eat, ate, eaten. Having eaten lunch, after we had eaten lunch, what happened? The other action, the following action, we chose. This is the past of choose. Choose, chose, chosen. So this is the past. We chose to order dessert, sweets. The other example, having exercised hard. After we had exercised hard, what happened next? She just wanted to rest. After she had exercised hard, she just wanted to rest. Again, two actions in the past. One happened before the other. The other participle, the other type is starting with the present gerund or the present participle. Present participle, verb plus ing. Drinking tea, she read a book. So we don't have here past participle like this, just drinking and the object directly, the tea. So drinking the tea means while she was drinking the tea, she read a book. So two actions happened at the same time. So if we look at this timeline, we have got two actions in the past. She was drinking tea, and the other action, she was reading a book. So both actions happened at the same time. We have two examples here to clarify the meaning. Walking to school means while the boys were walking to school, what happened? The boys saw their friends. So the two actions happened at the same time. Two actions happening at the same time. The next example, laughing out loud, she left the room. While she was laughing out loud, she left the room. So two actions happened at the same time. She was laughing and she left the room. She was leaving the room. So two actions at the same time. Okay, next rule. The stadium will have been cleaned by tonight. So if we look at the timeline, this is now, this is the past, and this is the future. So we say that some action will be completed or will have been completed before a certain time or a certain event in the future. How? We can't understand this. I'm going to give you an example. The cleaners will have cleaned the stadium by means before tonight. So before tonight, the stadium will have been cleaned. This is future because we have well, and this is perfect because we have cleaned. This is perfect. So the tense is future perfect. Future perfect. Something that will be completed before a certain time, which is tonight. So we have to have the word by. We must have by. For future perfect, look for the word by. But this sentence is active. Active because we have a subject at the beginning. Who is going to clean? The cleaners. Our objective is not active, it's a passive. How can we change the sentence into passive? It's easy. We change it to the passive when the action is more important than the subject, the person or persons who did the action. Here, The most important thing is the cleaning, the action, not who is going to do this. How can we change this sentence into passive? We start with the object, which is the stadium. Then we need verb to be. We need verb to be. But is it going to be am, is, are, was, were, has been, have been, will be? We need future. Future perfect. So it's going to be will, have, and after have, the verb must be the past participle. I can't see have be. I can't say have be. We say have been, have eaten, have seen. So now I have brought verb to be in the future perfect, will have been. And the passive consists of verb to be plus the past participle of the verb. The verb is clean, cleaned, cleaned. So it's a regular verb. The past participle is cleaned. So now it's passive. We don't have the subject at the beginning of the sentence. We don't know who is going to clean. So the stadium will have been cleaned, and we must have by and the time. We say by tomorrow, for example. We can say by the match. So it could be an event. We can say by the exam, by next week, by the end of this month. So we must have by, which is followed by a time or event in the future. So this is simply the future perfect and passive. We have examples to clarify. The order will have been delivered. So this is verb to be, will have been in the future perfect. And the delivered is the past participle for the passive. So the order will have been delivered by the time he gets home. If we would like to make it active, we say, for example, the restaurant will have delivered the order by the time he gets home. But we want it passive. We don't want a subject at the beginning. The action is more important. The more important thing in this sentence is the action itself, the delivery of the meal, not the person who is going to deliver. So the order is an object, will have been delivered by the time he gets home. So when I see by in the exam, I choose will have been plus the past participle. Next example, the new sports hall will have been built by next year. Again, when you see by in the exam, you choose will have been plus the past participle of any verb. So will have been built. The new sports hall will have been built by next year. So before next year, the establishment is going to be completed, finished. So something that is going to be finished before a certain time or point in the future. Who is going to do this? Who is going to build? We don't know. It's a passive. The last example, the project will have been completed by next week. Again, if you see by in the exam, you choose will have been plus the past participle of any verb. So the project will have been finished, completed before next week. Let's move on to the next rule. What I need to do is get some rest this weekend. So, for example, I say, you need to go shopping with us. This weekend. You say, no, I am tired. I am exhausted. I can't. So you say, I need to get some rest this weekend. Okay, this is a normal sentence, a typical sentence. Nothing strange in this. There is no focus. We need to emphasize the action, get some rest, not go shopping. How can I do this? We use what is called cleft sentences. Cleft means split. We make a focus on a certain part of the sentence. In order to do this, we use a tool like WH. What I need. You can say what I really need is, and you take the same verb. It's a get, infinitive. So you put it as it is. What I need is get some rest this weekend. So this is called cleft because we emphasize the action, get some rest. Okay, let's take other examples. The fact is that we can't go. So the fact is that after that, we put the part of the sentence that we would like to emphasize, which is here the whole idea. We can't go. Next. Okay. Let's take it from here because we can't see the last example. Here we are. The fact is that we can't go. What we'll do is call the airport. For example, we lost some luggage while we were traveling on a flight. So one suggests that you go yourself and inquire about this. Your friend says, we will call the airport. This is an ordinary sentence. There is no clefting. So in order to change it into a cleft sentence, we use what? will do is followed by infinitive. Call the airport. So this person is emphasizing this action to call the airport, calling the airport, not going to the airport. The last example, it was the sun or it was the rain that stopped the game. Somebody suggests that it was a storm that stopped the rain. You say, no, no, no. The rain stopped the game, but there is no focus here. We are not emphasizing any part. So we use it was the rain that. After that, we put the part, it was the rain. So the focus here, the emphasis is on the word rain. So it was the rain that stopped the game. We are going to practice this after some time. I have designed some mazes so that we can practice this in an exam-like task. Next one. If I hadn't gone to the football camp, I wouldn't be a professional player. So this is mixed conditional. The first part, hadn't gone, is F3. This is F3. I wouldn't be a professional player. This is F2. So this is a mix between two types of F. We have four types of F. F0, 1, 2, 3. And we can mix 2 with 3. The second example, if I had revised my exam or for my exam, I would have a better mark. So F3 and F2. If I wasn't afraid, this is F2. I wouldn't have gone to Jabal Geeth. I wouldn't have gone to Jabal Geese. This is F3. So again, it's a mix. How can we understand this? I have explained this in a Word document. I'll have a look at it quickly. So let's have a look at this part, conditional F. The first type is called F0 or Z because we have zero modal. Example, if you are hungry, present simple. If you are hungry, eat something. If ice is heated, it melts. If you study, you get high marks. So F plus present simple, the second sentence is again present simple. So this is F sentence, and this is the independent sentence. Present simple, present simple. F1, we start using the modals. One means present. So we will use the present modals like will or can, may, must, shall. So the first part of F, if you study, present simple, study, you will get a high mark in your next EMSAT exam. So the next sentence is will get. So the first part is present simple. The second part is will or can or may or must or shall with I and we. I shall, we shall only. Plus infinitive like get, eat, go, etc. If the phone rings, can you answer it, please? So we are not going to need this in the exam. Here we are going to need this, F2. F2 is past. If I was a bird, I'm speaking about now, present, but I use the past. So this is called unreal past or false past. The form is past, but the meaning is present. Why have we chosen the past? Because this is impossible. Nobody can be a bird. So if I was, and you can say in this case only, if I were. So use were, the plural, for I, singular, only here. If I were a bird, I would, because the first sentence is past. So the modal should be past too. I would fly high in the sky. Okay, so this is F2. Let's have a look at our slide. And where is F2 here in our sentences? If I wasn't afraid, this is F2. I wouldn't be, F2. I would have, F2. I would have, F2. She would be, F2. He didn't hate, F2. So this is past. Okay, back again. So in F2, we have past simple in F sentence. If he took the exam tomorrow, I'm speaking about future, but I use the past because this is impossible. This is F2. If he took the exam tomorrow, he could get a full mark. So this is F2. F plus past simple. The second sentence should be would or could or might plus infinitive like get, eat, go, and so on. F3. F3 is the only type that expresses a past action, something that happened in the past. If he had studied, he didn't study. If he had studied, he would have got a high mark. So F plus past perfect, the second part is going to be would or could or might plus have plus past participle of the verb. Again, this is not going to be in the exam. Which one is going to be in the exam? This one. If I saw Ali, I blame you for not inviting Ali to your birthday. So you say, I haven't seen him. I didn't see Ali. So you say, if I saw Ali, so this is hypothetical. This is impossible. I didn't see him. If I saw Ali, I would have invited him. So the first one, saw, past simple, this means it's taken from F2. The second part should be, I would invite him in order to complete F2. No. We complete with F3, would have plus past participle of the verb. So if I saw Ali, I would have invited him to my birthday. The second one, if I had woken up early, I didn't wake up early. So this is F3. Past perfect, had woken only is found in F3. So if I had woken up early, the second part should be, if we would like to complete F3, it should be, I would have been at school now. No, it's not would have been. It's just would be. So this is F2. at school now. It's impossible. I'm not at school because I didn't wake up early. So this is mixed. This is mixed conditional. The first part can be second F and the first part second. The second part is third F, or the opposite. The first part could be past perfect, F3, and the second part could be F2. Okay, more examples. If I had known you earlier, I would, or you would be better in grammar. So this is F3 with F2. If he wasn't absent today, he would have given us a presentation. Again, F2 and F3. If I wasn't so busy, I would have come with you to the party. F2 with F3. What is going to happen in the exam? You will be given F2 and you choose F3. Or you will be given F3 and you will choose F2. So it's simple. Let's go back again to our support documents or slides that are provided by Emirates Schools Establishment. He didn't bring an umbrella despite the rain. So two conjunctions, despite and since. Since means because. Since it was raining quite hard, he got wet. So because as it was raining quite hard, he got wet. So other examples, since you are not going to the wedding tonight, can I borrow your dress? Because you are not going to the wedding tonight. As you are not going to the wedding tonight, can I borrow your dress? I assumed that, I thought that you were out. Why? Since the lights were off. Because the lights of your house were off. Despite the traffic, she still made it on time. She could arrive on time. So despite the traffic, despite is followed by a noun. So despite his laziness, he got a high mark in the exam. Okay, so now we have finished with the slides, which are very important. We have finished with this also. Let's go to some mazes now. We are going to do some mazes. So let's take the first one. We are going to apply the grammatical rules that we have covered along with some vocabulary. Grade 12 Advanced End of Year Revision 2022. Spend, spending, spent. Of course, we start the sentence with the gerund, spending. Spending at least 2 hours. Okay. Just a minute. Let's open a Word one so that we can color the answer. This is already answered. Okay, let's use this now. So the first answer is spending. We usually start the sentence with a noun. And this gerund, verb plus ing, is the noun, is functioning as a noun. Spending at least 2 hours each week in the nature is highly recommended by specialists. Recommended because this is passive. We have by and the subject. Specialists, so is highly recommended. Psychologists have long promoted, encouraged connection to nature as a means of is a preposition. So it's followed by a gerund, achieving, achieve, achieved. So it's achieving because it's after a preposition. After prepositions, we use the gerund, verb plus ing. Optimal health. Researchers have now quantified that if many current patients had spent, so this is F3, so we are looking for F2 now, had spent a minimum of 2 weekly hours in nature, their measures of well-being, we are looking for F2 because this is F3. So we are looking for would and infinitive. Would increase, had increased, increasing. This is F2. Now this is mixed conditional. F3 had spent and F2 would increase. Be, being, being. In nature, of course, we start the sentence with the gerund. Being. Being in nature synchronizes the psychology with nature. Being in nature synchronizes the psychology with nature's cues of light, sound, and the temperature. It are, is, being these cues that send vital information to the body. This is Clefting sentences, emphasizing. So we say it is. It is, and the emphasis is on these cues, light, sound, temperature. It is these cues that send the vital information to the body, which tells it to reduce blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and stress hormones. Having optimized, of course, optimized, having optimized. This is perfect participle. Having plus past participle. After optimizing. Melatonin production. You can dive into sounder sleep. So after you had optimized melatonin or melatonin production, you can dive into sounder sleep. What we should do, again, Clefting, this is a Cleft sentence. What we should do is going, go, went. We said that in Clefting or in Cleft sentences. After what we should do is, we choose the infinitive of the verb, go. Barefoot. on the earth to be provided with more benefits. An American researcher has stated that some creative healthcare programs focusing on increasing the public awareness of this will have introduced by the end of this year. So this is future perfect passive, because healthcare programs do not introduce, they are introduced. So this is passive. So will have been introduced by a certain point in the future, which is the end of this year. All what you need, a cleft sentence. All what you need to do, doing, do. Of course, need to, after need, we must have to. All what you need to do is, after the Clefting expression, we use plan or planning or planned. Of course, plan. The infinitive. To integrate nature into your week. A new TV program giving more tips on this issue is about, this is future, using verb to be plus about plus to, of course. To start, starting, no. To start is about to start soon. Despite, although, though, their two busy schedules. So this is a noun. Despite is followed by a noun. Although is not. Although is followed by a sentence. Although he was a lazy student, he got a high mark. Though is followed by a sentence. But despite is followed by a noun. Schedules. Despite their too busy schedules, a lot of professionals do recognize the importance of enjoying going out for a while. Having had said is past participle. So this is perfect participle. So we need having plus past participle. Having said that, after I had said that, I think you should schedule 2 consecutive hours or brief daily sessions during which you can get away from cityscapes. Cityscapes, and allow nature to soothe your soul. Why? Since, in spite of, you are presenting your body with new environmental challenges, you can begin to flourish on every level, to improve on every level. Since, because you are present, as you are presenting yourself. So this is the first maze. I think we have got another one. We have 3 maybe. We are going to cover 2 only here, and we will be covering everything in our revision, inshallah. Regular physical activity is an important part of a windy, wealthy, healthy lifestyle. Of course, healthy. This is vocabulary. Not only is exercise good for your muscles and bones, but it is also an important part of preposition. Keeping, keeps. Of course, of is followed by the gerund because it's a preposition. Your brain healthy too. Having, have, had, recommended, past participle. So we need to start with the present participle. Having recommended the, sufficient, efficient, ancient amount of time, of course, sufficient enough amount of time. Experts suggest that you should exercise about an hour a day to keep your mind sharp. What we really need to do is playing, plays, play. This is cleft sentence. This is a cleft sentence. Need to do is followed by the infinitive, play, sports. Be, being, being. We started the sentence with being. Being on a team can build self-confidence and encourage regular, singular, vulnerable practice schedules that are good for your health. Of course, regular. If a lot of today's obese, fat patients had practice, are practicing, will practice, this is F. So we need to look at the second part. Enough sports, they would be. This is F2. So we look for F3. F3 is past perfect, had practiced. Now, this is mixed conditional. F3 with F2. This is what is required. A wide range of initiatives are about to, is about to, are about be launched. Of course, are about to, because initiatives is plural. And this is future, using verb to be plus about to plus infinitive. Be launched. This is passive. The fact is that, who, which. After the fact is, this is a cleft sentence. It's followed by that. Exercise doesn't only mean playing sports. Exercise doesn't only mean, after mean, we need the verb plus ing, playing sports. It just means moving your body and being active. A number of sports, competitions, expressions, generations, including dancing, walking, biking, swimming, and throwing a frisbee. Of course, competitions, these are sports. Will hold? No, competitions cannot hold. Will be holding? No, this is active again. We need a passive tense. Will have been held. This is the future perfect passive with by the summer holiday, before the summer holiday. As your heart flesh chambers rate increases, of course, heart rate increases during exercise, blood flows or blood flow to the brain increase. Yes, this is blood flow to the brain increases. However, but since blood flow increases, your brain is exposed to more oxygen because, so we need since blood flow increases, your brain is exposed to more oxygen and interference, nutrients, intention, of course, nutrients. Exercise also induces, convinces, competes, induces, encourages the release of beneficial proteins in the brain. These nourishing proteins keep brain cells, which are also known, knowing, know, are known. This is passive, as neurons, healthy and promote the growth of new neurons. Neurons are the working building blocks. Of course, working, this is an adjective. So this is present participle functioning as an adjective. Working building blocks of the brain. Having saying said, after having, we use the past participle said. Having said that, individual neurons health is important to overall brain health. So I have to stop here because it's too late. I hope you have benefited from these videos. I have just prepared these videos in case you can't attend our revision classes, which is going to be live and is going to be free. You can listen or watch these videos later. Thank you very much and best of luck. Goodbye.